Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Jesse with Knice High Performance, and as you can see, I've got my thinking cap on. And you know what that means. It's time for another episode of Programming in Real Time, where I take your requests and create a program for you in real time. So usually I'll take requests, but today is going to be something special. I have a group, a longtime group, one of my favorite groups that I train, and we're ready for a new program. So we're going to do that today. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so this group comes in 2 days a week, 1 hour a day. So I know I'm going to have to pack in a lot of stuff in each day. So let's get into it. Okay, we are going to have a day 1 and a day 2. As I mentioned, we're going to have to pack a lot of stuff in here, so I can already tell we're going to do a total body workout on both days. I'm going to do my typical bilateral day. And a unilateral day. Okay, so I also mentioned we are going to probably do a superset just so we get more in. For the bilateral day, we're going to stick with a traditional antagonist superset, whereas our unilateral day, let's go ahead and give them some contrast training. All right, bilateral day, we're going to stick to about 6 to 8 repetitions. Much heavier loads on the days that we do 2 arms, 2 legs. And we're going to stick with about 8 to 10 on the unilateral day. So I like to give the ranges 6 to 8, basically because we want to kind of fail around 6 to 8 repetitions. If we are getting to 8 repetitions, usually means it's time to bump it up. Same over here, 8 to 10 repetitions. If they're getting to 10 repetitions, it's time to bump up the weight. All right, let's talk about rest intervals. We're going to go longer rest intervals on our bilateral day. We're going to go to about 90 to 120 seconds. Here we're going to go to about 60 to 90 seconds. And we've got about 4 sets. And here, typically we're going to stick with about 4 sets, 3 or 4 sets. All right, let's get into it. So number 1, we did not do these on the last block, so we're going to toss this on here. My absolute favorite, as everybody knows, we're going to go with the back squat. Okay, that's going to be our squat pattern, obviously. I do want to do a hinge pattern. So for a bilateral hinge pattern, based off of what we've done in the past, how about a barbell supported dumbbell RDL? Sounds good. All right, now we need a pushing exercise. So we haven't done this in a while, so we can probably toss in there dumbbell bench press. And now we need some kind of a row. I think we will have them. It's been a while since we've done a nice little hex bar row. Perfect. Now we need to work on accessory work and trunk. So I'm a huge fan of rotational movements. So let's do a fat bar rotation. And add a biceps curl to that. And then we'll need some kind of a ab movement. One of my favorites that we haven't done in a while is going to be a ab wheel. And then what can we add to the ab wheel? So we've got biceps, we need the triceps. How about they're going to be on the floor already? So let's do a seated overhead dumbbell tricep extension. Oh boy, we're going to run out of room on this one. All right, so we've got our basic lifts so far, and now let's add our antagonists supersets. So the back squat, obviously, a lot of quadriceps, so we're going to need some kind of a posterior. We haven't done Nordics in quite some time. Now this is obviously an advanced movement, so instead of just a straight Nordic, we're going to work just on eccentric loads. Next thing would be the hamstring dominant. I'm going to do some kind of a quad. We haven't done these in a while. Goblet. Sumos. That way we can get some adductors in there weak. All right, dumbbell chest press. Obviously we need some kind of a row here. I am partial to suspension rows. Let's get those in here. Be a good superset to that. And hex bar row. Since we're going to be in a bent over position, we want to do some kind of a push. Let's go with hands elevated on a box or bench. Hands elevated, push up. That way we can get a pushing motion, and since the hands are on the box, it'll be a little bit easier to perform. Okay, so yeah, we got some antagonists and all those. Looks good so far. Let's go to day 2. It's a lot faster when you've been working with these people for a while, because you know what we've done in the past, and you know their strengths and weaknesses. So this should be a pretty quick one. Okay, I know what I want to do here. We're doing a dumbbell rear foot elevated split squat. They're gonna love that. That would be AKA a Bulgarian split squat. In my facility, we don't call it a Bulgarian split squat because it actually has no real ties to Bulgaria. I can get into that all day, or you can go check out my Instagram. There's a lot of information on there about things like that, myths about exercises. Okay, so we've got the quads taken care of on that. Obviously, we're going to need some kind of a hinge pattern. Actually, you know what? Let's work in the frontal plane here. We can come back to that hinge a little bit later because I don't see any real frontal plane movements here. Let's go with the Cossacks. Sack squat. Man, I'm running out of ink. Okay, so that's good there. Cossack squats. Now we need some kind of a push. This one's pretty simple. Let's go with a uni dumbbell press. Then we'll need a pulling action for one arm at a time. Let's think of These might be difficult. In fact, I know these are difficult, but this does add a little bit of that rotation, anti-rotation that I like a lot. So we're going to go with a mixed grip. Eccentric pull-up. We're definitely going to run out of room. Eccentric pull up. Okay. So we're going to go with a number 5 here. So on these unilateral days, I do like to be a little bit more dynamic and move a lot. So we've got the front. Let's go with a dumbbell front lunge or a forward lunge. We're going to use heavier weights here because it is leg centric. I'm going to add a cheek curl so we can get some of these accessories out. Cheek bicep curl. And number 6, let's go with some kind of well, we need a hinge. Let's go back to the hinge movements. Because we are going forward, why not a dumbbell? Step back. RDL. Let's get some kind of a tricep. So we're going to be pretty heavily loaded for that RDL. So I was thinking maybe a kickback, but it's going to be too heavy. We can do some dumbbell A raises. Oh, running out of room. Okay. All right, let's go back and do some of the contrast stuff for these. This one we're going to do a rear foot elevated jumps. That's pretty easy there. Cossack. We're going to do, how about some lateral jumps? Lateral jumps. Yep, running out of room. Okay, so for a contrast for our unilateral dumbbell press, how about we can go offset push-ups. Oh, we totally ran out of room. Okay. So this bad boy is pretty tough. And let's do, man, we're going to do band resisted high rows. High row. Out of space. Okay. And then there, we've got our doubles. All right, so let's see what we got. Back squat bilateral day, we've got our squat pattern, we've got our hinge pattern, we got our push, our pull, we have a rotation, abdominals, and we have a couple of accessories, their arms. Unilateral day, we've got one of our favorites, our dumbbell rear foot elevated split squats. We've got rear foot elevated jumps. We're going to go into the frontal plane a little bit, work some of the adductors and groin area, Cossack squats, lateral jumps to get some of those glute meads. Unilateral dumbbell press sounds about right. Offset, so tight I can't even read it. Offset push-ups. That would be a good unilateral. Mixed grip eccentric pull-up. Pull-ups are hard, so we're going to concentrate a lot on the eccentric load there. And because we're only going to do some eccentrics, we're going to have some banded high rows. And then for our movement, our locomotion, we're going to have some forward dumbbell lunges with some cheat curls. The lunges obviously are going to be a pretty heavy dumbbell for the legs, so we're going to need to cheat those bicep curls up. And then step back RDLs, unilateral step back RDLs with some A raises, and we'll do them in a cheat style because obviously that's going to be the similar difficulty level as the cheat curls because the dumbbells need to be fairly heavy for the RDLs. So after all that, it looks like it's pretty good. All right, who am I kidding? Being too humble. That's actually really good. I hope they like it. Okay, so there goes another episode of Programming in Real Time. And if you'd like to be a part of it, comment below. Give me some of your goals, your stats, age, training age, things like that. And perhaps you can be featured on the next episode. Now, if you gained any value from this video, feel free to like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. And I'll catch you in the next one.